2, 1.
And New Shepard has cleared the tower on our way to space with our first human crew. Go, Jeff. Go, Mark. Go, Wally. Go, Oliver. You are going to space.
And there you see it right there. Blue Origin has begun its liftoff into space. Katie, as we're all watching this rocket go up with such force, give us a sense of what those passengers are feeling right this moment.
They are realizing just what I said, that it is so hard to leave the planet, and they are going. And you realize that you are going somewhere, and you are just not going to stop until that engine cuts out, and then you'll be in space. They're getting, the G's are starting to build up. Max Q. It's the highest dynamic pressure of the flight.
So what does Max Q feel like?
30,000 feet, Mach 1.
It's not a sudden thing for us. It's just that you realize that it's the most stress on the vehicle itself, and it's a nice thing to get done with, and that is the most stress on the parts of the vehicle. So now you know your vehicle is doing fine.
To see the glow.
And what are they feeling inside their bodies at this moment?
Rocket just under our shoulders, and to know that we've got a crew that is going to space.
I think I heard you ask about what it's like. They're actually feeling sort of pressed into their seat, as if I tell people it's like having a gorilla sit on your chest, but sort of like gradually, more and more. It's a little hard to breathe, but at the same time, you know that you can. You also know it's not going to last that long. They're coming up on 2 minutes, coming up on Mach 2.
And then they're eventually going to hit Mach
Such a great
3
view.
and weightlessness. Everything going perfectly so far, correct?
As far as I can tell.
All right, coming up here on MECO, main engine cutoff. That will be followed shortly by separation. And at that point, after separation, we're going to let the astronauts unbuckle and take in the freedoms of zero G. There is MECO, main engine cutoff. A beautiful shot down the New Shepard rocket. Look at that view.
This means they are weightless.
Unreal.
Coming up.
So once they hit
Awaiting
zero
separation
Gs,
here.
As soon as they got that separation, there was zero G there.
And here we are. You can start to see. Stand by. You're going to see the separation of the capsule from the booster itself.
and Katie, once the booster separates, what's going to happen?
That's when they are.
Look out the window. He did that. Oh, wow.
I'm not sure if you could hear them.
I think that sounds like, yeah, it does sound like the crew inside right now, huh?
It's awesome.
That was definitely
And
a
there
woo-hoo
we
from
go.
Wally.
Our astronauts have passed the Kármán line at about 328,000 feet, continuing their ascent. You see the two vehicles there. When the speed hits zero, you know that they've hit apogee, their maximum altitude, and you hear they're having quite an experience.
Okay, I'm gonna start back.
That is a high, Katie, isn't it?
Oh, you can hear it in their voices. There's nothing like it. The floating, the flying, you're flying inside the capsule, and the view of the Earth. That combination. And those windows are as big as you are.
And I imagine that no matter how many times you practiced, it still feels different when it's real.
1 minute warning.
You know, we call this civilians in space. It's people in space, and when it's real, there's just nothing like that feeling, and it makes you realize that there's a whole big world out there in that universe, and just waiting for us to explore. You can see the separation. You see those two ships there. So the booster's on the bottom there. Well, actually, the booster's probably on the top. Depends on the camera angles, but the brighter one is usually the booster.
Okay, get in. Gotta get in. Roll.
Oh, fantastic. Look at this. It's dark up here.
Oh, wow.
2,000 miles an hour.
Everybody in?
First step check. Astronaut Oliver.
Oh, wow.
Let's go more.
Oliver, status check. Oliver.
Blue Patrol, Oliver, status perfect. Easy.
Copy. Astronaut Wally.
Wally.
Blue Patrol, Wally is easy.
Copy. Astronaut Demo.
Astronaut demo, reply to me.
Copy. Astronaut Bezos. Copy.
It sounded like Jeff Bezos saying happy, happy, happy. Right there, almost 7 minutes into their flight into space.
And Katie, tell people what they're seeing on the right of the screen, what is about to make landfall again.
Our booster is about to return to its landing pad.
So they're going faster and faster and faster. Now they're starting to slow down in the that's actually, we're looking at the booster there. So two things are happening. The booster actually lands before they do, and you see it coming in for a landing, slowing down. It's going to land at about 5 miles per hour, usually right on that launch pad. So that's the booster landing that we're seeing right now.
So it can
And
be
they
reused
are
again.
about 2 miles away.
Booster touchdown. Welcome back, New Shepard.
Wow.
A beautiful rocket that provided a beautiful flight to space.
First step, your booster has landed.
Bullseye for the booster right there on the launch pad.
Blue Control Bezos, that's great to hear about the booster.
They were happy to hear about the booster.
There it is.
To be able to hear them, they're so calm, excited, but yet so
You have
calm.
a very happy crew up here, I want you to know.
And now they're just floating. You see it right there. You see the Blue Origin capsule.
I see blue. I see the big barn.
Stand by drogues. Stand by drogues.
Roads route.
Stand by main. Stand by main.
Oh, so far, a nominal flight. Here comes the crew capsule back from space. The drogues deployed. Here are the mains out, reefing and coming to full inflation. Our rocket went over Mach 3, and now they're coming floating back down at just about 15 or 16 miles an hour, about to